A typically ice-cool professional approach to the weighing from Anthony Joshua, who took the scales at 18 stone. He's only added on a pound to take on Francis Ngannou after being 17 stone 13 for the utter destruction of Otto Wallin back in December. Ngannou seems the happier, more cheerful one. At the end of the press conference and that stony face-off, he was wobbling side to side, but keeping his eye on AJ. There was no reaction from the big man, and he got rid of the headphones that Ngannou had made jokes about just the night before. On the scales, they both look in sensational shape. Ngannou's legs are huge. It would be incredible to see if Anthony Joshua can make those buckle or wobble. It was a masterclass in how professional boxing should be handled, just moments after we heard about the nonsense between Jake Paul and 57-year-old Mike Tyson that's set to happen in July. But that's typical AJ. Business above all else, winning and getting back in the heavyweight world title race. If he can knock Ngannou out, there's every opportunity that he can slip in if Tyson and Usyk is a conclusive fight on May 17 and the rematch isn't needed, that AJ gets back in and gets that opportunity. He's been coming to Saudi Arabia since 2019 and fighting. They like him here. And Turki Al-Sheikh, who's bankrolling all of this stuff and picking these fights personally, he wants to see Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury just as much, by the sounds of it, as all the British fight fans at home who have been so disappointed in the 2 or 3 times that the deal and negotiations have collapsed. The media events in the build-up to the week have been relatively quiet in this Greek amphitheatre, but today everything went up a notch. There was an incredible crowd up in the corner to my right-hand side there of Nigerian fans really screaming for Anthony Joshua. I noticed him take a little look up and acknowledge what they were doing. This is Nigeria versus Cameroon. This is on the border, 2 huge African nations of proud sporting and athletic men going up against each other. And Ngannou liked to play on that idea. He reckons that the whole of Cameroon will come to a standstill to watch him, in the same way that he used to go around to little cafes and houses to watch Mike Tyson fights when he was little. He thinks that that will be happening again for people to watch him and AJ. We asked AJ the same thing. Having never ever been able to box in Africa like he would like to, with the big Nigeria tattoo on his shoulder, we wondered if this was the closest thing he'd ever get to doing that. He didn't want to get involved in that. He didn't want to look at this fight as country versus country or MMA versus boxing. For him, this is just a way he has to get back in the mix, the fight that he has to win. Adding to the atmosphere is Derek Chisora turning up as usual and shouting some wild things out. Thankfully, from what we understand, he won't be on any of these Saudi Arabia shows, not because we don't love and respect him for all that he's given the sport, but because at his age, with the fights that he's been in and the damage that he's taken, I think that all of the British promoters now should let that man rest and enjoy a long and healthy retirement.
And let's welcome his opponent to the stage. He's the defending champion. His record also an excellent one. 26 victories, 21 of those 26 by knockout. Only 1 defeat with 1 draw from Choctaw, China and New Jersey, USA. The defending interim WBO World Heavyweight Champion, Big Bang Jang Lee.
But are you gonna bang from China? But are you gonna bang? Speak English? But are you gonna bang? Not that choice, but are you gonna bang?
It's a busy week for Joseph Parker, the man who surrendered his WBO heavyweight world title to Anthony Joshua in 2018. Once he comes through the giant Chinese southpaw Zhilei Zhang, he's got a race home to New Zealand where his wife is about to give birth to their 5th child. Funnily enough, though, this is the first one he's ever going to actually turn up to see be delivered. He's been in camp or in fights for the previous 4. Not only that, all 4 of those were little girls whom he utterly adores and rates as his best friends in the whole wide world. And despite spending all of his camps in Morecambe with Tyson Fury or Limerick with trainer Andy Lee and mixing with dozens of the toughest men in Britain, he didn't really want a little boy, or he wasn't desperate for one. But he's found out now that the gender reveal will be blue, and he'll be bringing in another little boy to his big Samoan family. He won't be even calling him Little Joe, he'll be leaving it up to his wife. But it's a great story and an added narrative to the Joe Parker story, because the Deontay Wilder win in December was utterly magnificent. And if you're a betting man, obviously away from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, then the fitter, younger and faster Joseph Parker looks like the sensible option. Zhang has got two magnificent back-to-back wins over what we once thought was the impervious Joe Joyce. However, he's 40. He is slow and he's easy to hit, which is everything Joseph Parker isn't, as we saw with the incredible win over Deontay Wilder just back in December.
247.6 pounds. 247.6. Next on the scale is the defending champion. His record 26 victories, 21 by KO, and with 1 defeat with 1 draw. On the scale, defending interim champion. 291.6 pounds for the WBO interim heavyweight champion. This would be a main event anywhere else in the world on this fantastic and dramatic card we have here. Riyadh, season here in Riyadh, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Here they are, face to face. Big Joseph Parker, Big Bang Zhang delay. Of the world.
So Big Daddy Cool, the Samoan heavyweight, should be winning here and racing home to the wife that he credits as being the real hero behind his entire career. There was a strange moment around this press conference. Conor Benn and Manny Pacquiao entered the amphitheatre, sat incredibly close to each other, posed for photos. There was talk of a face-off and their fight being announced. Michael Buffer, the iconic MC who was here just a moment ago, even teased announcing it, and then his mic cut off. So it seems that that fight is incredibly close to being announced. It will be Conor's first serious fight in over 2 years. He's had 2 keep warm fights in America while he wrestles with the British Boxing Board of Control and UKAD over his boxing licence, which he surrendered during the row over doping in the build-up to the Chris Eubank fight. That one looks like a done deal. Perhaps in the last final moments, some of the negotiations had to be changed, but it's just another twist in the story of Saudi Arabia trying to take over boxing and doing a great job of making fights that it seems everybody wants to see.